let's start the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region. Pelvis region. Okay. The male reproductive system consists of 4 parts. First part is the pair of testes. First part is the pair of testes. Second part, the accessory ducts. Third part, glands. And the fourth part is the external genitalia. Fourth part is the external genitalia. So the male reproductive system is located in the pelvis region and it consists of 4 parts: pair of testes, accessory ducts, glands, and the external genitalia. So now let's discuss the pair of testes. A pair of testes, first part. A pair of testes. The pair of testes is located in the abdominal cavity. Outside the abdominal cavity, okay. At some outside the abdominal cavity in a pouch-like structure which is called the scrotum. In a pouch-like structure, what it is called? It is called the scrotum. Now, why it is located outside the abdominal cavity? To maintain a low temperature. How much low temperature? It is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than body temperature. So 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature. So if we consider that the normal body temperature to be 37 degrees Celsius, so the temperature that will be in the scrotum will be 34.5 to 35 degrees Celsius, which is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature. This part is important. Some students write only 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius, but it is 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius, which is lower than the body temperature. Now, why this condition is required? Why this 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius? This condition is required for the process of spermatogenesis. So, for the process of spermatogenesis, which is the sperm formation. So, for sperm formation, this condition is required. Okay. Now, the pair of testes. The pair of testes, it is oval in shape, okay, oval shaped, and this pair of testes is covered by a dense covering, which is known as this dense covering term is given in the NCERT, but the dense covering is the tunica albuginea, okay, tunica albuginea. Okay, this is the tunica albuginea, oval shaped and dense covering, and length 4 to 5 centimeter, and the width is 2 to 3 centimeter. Tunica albuginea. This term is not given in the NCERT, but for NEET it is very important. This tunica albuginea. Now let's come to the pair of testes internal structure. Okay, each pair of testes has 250 compartments. Each testis has 250 compartments. These 250 compartments are called the testicular lobules. Testicular lobules. Now each testicular lobule has 1 to 3 highly coiled structural and functional unit of testis. Structural and functional unit of testis. What is this called? It is known as the seminiferous tubules. Suppose there's a house, okay, and 250 rooms are there in each house. 2 houses are there, 250 rooms in each house, and in each room 1 to 3% reside here. 1 to 3%. So this total house is the testis. 250 compartments in it, they are known as the testicular lobules, and 1 to 3 they are the structural and functional unit of this total house. So these are known as the seminiferous tubules. Okay. Now let's discuss about the seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubules. Now on its inner lining, is covered by 2 types of cells. What are these 2 types of cells known as? First is the male germ cells. Also known as the spermatogonia. And the second is the Sertoli cells. Also known as the nurse cells. Now, what are the functions of these 2 cells? First is the male germ cells and then the Sertoli cells. The male germ cells undergo meiotic division to form spermatozoa. Undergo meiotic division to form spermatozoa. Okay. Now what is the meaning of this meiotic division? One cell divides twice. First it divides, then another time it divides to form total 4 cells. This is known as the meiotic division. This whole process of spermatogenesis we will discuss in the later videos. So it forms the meiotic division to form spermatozoa. It undergoes the meiotic division to form the spermatozoa. What is the function of the Sertoli cells now? It provides nourishment and nutrition to these male germ cells. So main function of the Sertoli cells is provide nutrition and nourishment to whom? To the male germ cells. Okay. So these were the 2 cells which is there in the inner lining of the seminiferous tubules. Now let's come to another very important part, that is interstitial cells. Okay. Before starting interstitial cells, we need to know what are interstitial spaces. So the term is interstitial spaces. Okay. Interstitial spaces. The interstitial spaces, suppose here is your room. Okay. Here's your room. Here's your bed, study table, almirah kept, computer table kept, and here is your door. Okay. Now the spaces in between these objects kept, these are known as the interstitial spaces. Okay. So these spaces are also only known as the interstitial spaces. So now where these interstitial spaces are present in between the seminiferous tubules. These interstitial spaces are present. What are there in these interstitial spaces? Interstitial cells, also known as the Leydig cells. Now, what these Leydig cells secrete and synthesis? These Leydig cells or the interstitial cells secrete and synthesis, or synthesis and then secrete androgens, or rather if you say the testicular hormones. What is the example of testicular hormones? It is the androgens. Okay. So what are the functions? So let's discuss once more. Interstitial spaces, which are present in between the seminiferous tubules, and the cells which are present in the interstitial spaces are known as the interstitial cells or the Leydig cells. They synthesis and secrete the testicular hormones, which are also known as the testicular hormones. The example of one testicular hormone is the androgens. What is the function of this androgen? It helps in the growth of secondary male sexual characters. Okay. Now, one more last line of that NCERT paragraph. One more important term is there. That is the immune competent cells. Okay. Now, what is this immunity competent cells? These are nothing but the lymphocytes, the macrophages, and mast cell. What is the function? If I say function, the function is protection from invading particles. Foreign invading the WBCs actually. Okay, so this was the immunity competent cells. Now let's come to the accessory dots. I will give you a flow chart here. Through flow chart, I will make you understand. Okay, accessory dots. Accessory ducts. First is the reti testis. Okay, reti testis. Just remember this flow chart I am giving you. Okay, so the seminiferous tubule through the reti testis open into the vas deferens. Sorry, vas efferentia. Vas efferentia. The seminiferous tubules through the reti testis open into vasa efferentia. It will be vasa efferentia. Now vasa efferentia now leaves the testis. Leaves the testis, and it now opens into the epididymis. Epididymis. Where is this epididymis located? It is located at the posterior end of each testis. Posterior end of each testis. What is the meaning of this posterior end? At the back side of each testis. Okay. Now this epididymis then leads to, opens into the vas deferens. Vas deferens. Okay. The vas deferens then ascends to the abdomen. Vas deferens ascends to the abdomen, and then it makes a loop over the urinary bladder. So here I will write, it first ascends to the abdomen, and first point. Second, loops over the urinary bladder. Urinary it loops over the urinary bladder, and it is joined by a duct from the seminal vesicle. So joined by a duct from seminal vesicle. What is this duct called as? Now the duct from the seminal vesicle comes and it joins the vas deferens, and together the duct is known as the ejaculatory duct. The duct is known as the duct form is known as the ejaculatory duct. Duct. What is the function of this ejaculatory duct? If I say, the ejaculatory duct stores sperm and also helps it in its transportation. Okay. So now the accessory ducts again. Let's revise. This sequence is often asked in the NEET exam. This sequence. Seminiferous tubules open into the vasa efferentia through the rete testis. Then the vasa efferentia leaves the testis and opens into the epididymis. Where this epididymis is located? It is located in the posterior end of each testis. Now the epididymis then leads to the vas deferens. The vas deferens then ascends to the abdomen and loops over the urinary bladder, and finally it is joined, this is point number 3, joined by a duct from the seminal vesicle, which together forms the ejaculatory duct. This sequence is very important. What is the function of the ejaculatory duct? It stores sperms and also help in its transportation. So after this, let's read the urinary blood, urethra. Okay, urethra. What is urethra? Urethra, it is actually originates from the urinary bladder. Originates from urinary bladder, and finally it opens through the penis, also known as the urethral meatus. Opens through the penis in its external opening, known as the called as urethral meatus. Okay, This is the part of the urethra. So now let's come to the glands. Okay, this was the whole accessory duct. Now let's come to the glands. First gland, glands. First gland is the seminal vesicle. Vesicle, okay. Second is the prostate. And third is the bulbourethral or Cowper's gland. Cowper's gland. Seminal vesicle, they are paired, 2 in number. Prostate, 1 in number. And again bulbourethral or Cowper's gland, 2 in number, often asked in NEET. What is the function of the seminal vesicle? Rich in fructose and calcium. It is rich in fructose and calcium and has certain enzymes also like prostaglandins and etc. Now prostate. Prostate helps in sperm motility. And finally the bulbourethral or the Cowper's gland helps in the lubrication. Lubrication of what? Lubrication of penis. Okay. Now the secretion of all these 3 glands is together known as the seminal plasma. Okay. Now secretion of all these 3 glands is known as the seminal plasma. Seminal plasma plus sperm is equal to semen. This part is very important. The secretion of the seminal vesicle, the secretion of the prostate and the secretion of the bulbourethral together form the seminal plasma, and the seminal plasma plus the sperm forms the semen. Last part of this male reproductive system is the external genitalia. External genitalia is the penis. The enlarged end of the penis is known as the glans penis. Okay, so its enlarged end is known as the glans penis, and the loose fold of skin by which it is covered is known as the foreskin. Okay, foreskin. It also has some erectile tissues which helps in the process of insemination, the transfer of the male sperm to the female genital tract. Okay, so this was the male reproductive system. In the next class we will start the female reproductive system. Thank you.